And good morning, folks, and welcome to Mark's Morning Business Check-in. Today is Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th, wow, of February. We're already majorly through February, and tomorrow is another big day. Yes, it is. It's Saturday. And I'm on Saturday and Sunday. And for all those lovers out there, it's Valentine's Day tomorrow. This morning, it's very cold out there. It's very wet in Dublin. The temperatures, I think, is around 4 degrees. And that is not your weather forecast. And it's the same in Paris, same in London. And it's going to be very cold tonight. So make sure you look after people and make sure you be very careful going to work this morning. It's been raining non-stop here all night. And so there'll be a lot of floods, a lot of wet roads. So just be careful out there. And just remember also, today is Friday, which means you do not open your mail on a Friday. You do not open your mail on a Friday. I haven't opened my mail in over 25 years on a Friday. If you want to find out why, just look at a YouTube channel and you'll see why you don't open your mail on a Friday. There's a 5 or 10 minute video there explaining how that helps and protects your mental health by not opening your mail on a Friday. So just go to my YouTube channel and don't forget to subscribe. It's all free and you'll see the video on that. So because it's Friday and Tank Crunch Year is Friday, we do a book review and see how it can influence business. And this week I'm doing Amazon's book. I hope you can all see that. And this is by Brian Dunham. This book is all about, if you're into websites and you have an online business and you're trying to scale it up and you're trying to get things right, this book is all about how Jeff Bezos grew Amazon. And no matter what you think of Jeff Bezos and all that type of stuff, the point is, this gentleman has grown a business from his garage to what it is today. So it started off where I remember Amazon launching when we had Indigo, and people wondering why would you call a company Amazon? What's all that about? And who remember that name? I'm sure who's going to buy books online? Are you mad? And even when it started to take some traction and we went out to bookshops here trying to encourage them to go online in Ireland, they all said no. And the funny thing is, a lot of bookshops that said no are all gone out of business now. They all went, even though people have gone back to buying books and not using Kindles and gone back into the experience and gone back into bookshops. That has happened, and people are in there and still buying books, what I call the old-fashioned way. I still do it. I still buy hard copy books. I also have a Kindle. But who would have thought that from selling books, Jeff Bezos would build a website that does everything. And I mean everything, right? And here's someone who had a vision, and the book talks about the vision and his work ethic, and even his use of a whiteboard. Which, if you look at my shows from the 6th of January, you'll see we talk about how to use a whiteboard. Even the importance of him still using a whiteboard to develop solutions for problems that he has. But the beauty of this book is, and I put a lot of this into action when I was asked to go and run a company for a while, and because the MD had passed away, and we built a website from nothing to over £50,000 a month during COVID, which is irregular because COVID you couldn't go out. But even after COVID, the website was still doing up to £45,000, £50,000 a week. We were helped by a online advertising agency who are fantastic in what they were doing, and we found them, and they got everything right. They just got everything right, from helping us advertise and making sure on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, getting people to come to the website and advertising certain products. But the beauty of this book is it talks about how to trying to get the minimum spend per customer, how to use the data that customers give you to your advantage to get them to buy more. We see it on Netflix. Netflix use what movies you look at to show you what is the top 10 in Ireland or the UK. But remember, the top 10 you're seeing is not the top 10 on my screen. Because there's no point in showing me the top 10 being all maybe love stories, when I'm interested, say, in car chases, or I'm interested in reality shows. So what a lot of people don't realize is Netflix has shown everyone a different top 10 and different your top 10. And that's because they're manipulating the data of what you look at and what you're searching for. Jeff Bezos did the same thing. He was one of the first to really use AI. And AI has been around for a long time. Netflix has been using it. I was using it in the DVD rental business when I had my own DVD rental company. AI has been around for a long time. But it talks about how he started to realize, well, if customers are buying crime novel, buying crime novels, that I'm going to push more crime novels onto them. If customers are buying business books, I'm going to push business books onto them. And it talks about how he started to organize himself, organize the website, and organize the business. And as I said, it talks about a lot of stuff about his vision for the business and where he saw it going. In the early days, it was doing very small business and was losing money. It's not losing money now, but it was losing a lot of money, but was very slow to take off. I always remember seeing a documentary about the lads who started YouTube, and they only had 5 or 6 videos up there after a number of months, and they were wondering how to scale and how to get to the next stage. And that's when they realized about doing things and things going viral and all that type of stuff. Jeff Bezos was the same. He had to decide how would he get customers into the business, how would he keep them there, how would he get the books out to people, how quick could he get the books out to people, and how could he get those people to reorder. If you remember in the early days of Amazon, we all used to get cards inside the boxes advertising other books or advertising other things on the site. For many years, the site was purely books. Until he started to realize, well, if I have all these customers coming to me and coming to buy my services, why can't I sell them other stuff? And you could say the same for anyone who's going onto a website now. If you have a website promoting electrical products, why can't you push health and safety? Why can't you push safety products, hard hats, yellow jackets? If you have a site doing all carpentry stuff, why can't you actually do electrical stuff? And the thing is, once you have customers coming to your website and they're buying off you and they trust you, you can then sell anything you want to them. I remember when we launched the first e-commerce site in Ireland, and going back to about 99, I think it was, and we launched the first e-commerce website in Ireland, the first what we call a superstore, selling a whole range of products from watches to TVs, all that type of stuff. One of the products we had up there was a trip to outer space on a MiG, a Russian MiG jet. And our marketing manager, who was one of the best marketing brains when it comes to the internet and e-commerce, he arranged that if someone bought this, to be flown to Russia and brought up into the atmosphere out so that they're technically in space on a MiG. Now, no one bought it, but it got a massive amount of press because it was about £10,000 at that stage. We knew nobody would buy it, but we had the product in case someone did buy it. And that was the thing. It was to get people in. But this book explains about how to grow the business, how to scale the business up, how to find new customers, how to keep the customers. It talks about how launching your own products when you get to a certain scale, the likes of he's done with the likes of the Kindle and other products, and also how to dump products very quickly that are not moving. Jeff Bezos doesn't mess around. If something isn't working and something isn't working right, he just dumps it and moves on. He will ask his staff to find out why it didn't work and do a quick autopsy on it. But it's gone. It's never coming back again. And that's what this book is about. It's about how Amazon changed the landscape for all websites. It changed the landscape for all entrepreneurs. And it changed the landscape on how entrepreneurs sold and found customers and kept customers. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you have a business that sells online, reading this book will give you a lot of ideas to help your online business. It's a must-have in your collection of books that you have on your shelf. As I said, when I helped launch the online health and safety shop for a business, reading that made me realize there were certain things I was doing wrong in other websites. And I've had a lot of experience. I've been working on websites and launching e-commerce sites for a long time and helping other people launch them, from 123.ie to Indigo to Grant Supplies, DVD rentals, pet food company. I've launched a lot of online businesses. And you learn from every single one of doing things differently. And people used to say, well, this is a different business. So you have to do it slightly different. Now, this is a different business. You can't do it that way. And you learn over time, that's all pure rubbish. If you're selling a product, all products are being sold to people. You sell them the same way. You have to market the site in such a way. Yes, your audience is different to start off with. But as your online business grows, you suddenly realize your audience is everyone, not just who you thought it was. It's everyone. So when we start selling the health and safety stuff and the safety shoes and yellow jackets and all that type of stuff, one thing we started to realize, well, there was an awful lot of people buying safety shoes off us that were looking to buy other stuff. So we brought in a range of men's shoes and women's shoes, not health and safety, just normal men's shoes. And they began to sell. Because if you have someone buying safety shoes off you and they trust you and you deliver the product on time, why can they not buy normal men's shoes off you or normal ladies' shoes off you? Then we went on to regatta jackets. People were buying weatherproof jackets off us for working out on building sites. But then we decided we'd try other jackets, normal jackets. And they began to sell. Some of them didn't, because the style didn't suit the type of customer we were getting, but some of them did. And again, the argument is, if somebody buys something off you, if someone buys a safety hat off you, and they're happy with it, and they get the product delivered, then why can you not sell them a normal baseball cap? If somebody buys a waterproof fleece off you for a building site or out in all elements, then why can you not sell them a normal fleece or a normal polo shirt for the summertime? The answer is there's no reason. A lot of people just get stuck in their mind with who they think their customer is. They don't realize who the real customer is, which is everybody. So if you're selling a product online to someone, so if you're selling pens to someone, why can't you sell them paper? You can. Don't get hung up that if you're in the health and safety business, you can only sell health and safety items. Don't get the idea in your head if you're only doing pet food and that you can only sell pet food. You can't. You can sell other stuff. You can sell other stuff that maybe complement the pet food. You can sell other stuff that maybe is the next step after pet food, right? So once you have a website, and Jeff Bezos shows you in this book, he decided that he had all these customers buying books off him. All these customers buying books. So why couldn't they buy nappies off him? Customers who read books have children. Why couldn't he sell watches? Customers who read books have watches. Why couldn't he sell glasses? Customers who read books have glasses. His philosophy was, if I have all these people, I have all this data now of what they like to read, why can't I sell them other stuff? And the reason is, and you can. You absolutely can. Right? The only thing stopping you is yourself. Who do you think your business is? Who do you think your business is aimed at? And then you decide, okay, I'll try something else. We've seen Specsavers. Specsavers had all these people coming in for glasses. Right? The Specsavers, come on, the Specsavers. But now they do air testing. They realize there's a lot of money in selling hearing aids. A lot of money in selling hearing aids. Anyone who's got a hearing aid or has parents got a hearing aid will know they're not cheap. They're a few £1,000s. They are not cheap. So they're now selling hearing aids. They're still called Specsavers, but we also sell hearing aids. That's another lesson in making sure every name you call your company allows you to sell a lot of stuff. Right? There's another company, I think it's called Windows and Doors, now do kitchens. Windows and Doors now do kitchens. And why not? If you have customers who allow you to put new windows in the whole house and you do a fantastic job and they're very happy with it, why can you not sell them kitchens? No reason whatsoever. And that's why he was teaching, and that's why this book should be of interest to you. It goes through scaling up the business, using the customer information, using then AI, and now AI has evolved into what it is now, using all that information to help you grow the business to the next stage. So it's important to have a book like this on your site, on your bookshelf, especially if you're into e-commerce. If you're into e-commerce, if your business is only e-commerce. We had someone here last week who has a unisex shop selling clothes and that, and they've launched their business or are about to launch. I think they had launched their business. Like once they start to get volume, there's no reason why they can't do shoes. There's no reason why they can't do scarves. There's no reason why they can't do books, actually. Because once you have customers coming in and once you are delivering the promise that you said you would, you're giving good value, and you have customers come back to you for more, they will buy a range of stuff off you. All you have to do is look at supermarkets. Look at supermarkets, even in the UK, they all sell insurance products now. They all sell car insurance, life insurance, mobile phones they sell. Tesco, mobile phones. But for a lot of people, Tesco, for a long time, was all about your weekly shopping. It's also mobile phones. It's also TVs. So reading this book will, I would hope, open your eyes to where your business can go over the next number of years. And that's important. Where can it go over the next number of years? Okay? Thanks for joining me this morning. My name is Mark Begg. I do this show every weekday morning from 7:30 a.m. till about 10 to 8. I keep it live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook and Instagram for about 20 minutes, because I know people have to get out to work and go back and go to work. And we also do a live on TikTok till about 8 o'clock as well. If you're looking for any free training videos or anything like that, there's a whole load of stuff on our YouTube site at Mind's Eye Education. So if you missed today's show and you listen to the playback, we've an awful lot of free videos up there. We've an awful lot of free training videos. We've an awful lot of free stuff about dyslexia, dyspraxia, ADHD, autism on our website, mindseyeeducation.com. We've a lot of stuff up there. And you'll find a lot of stuff about our crisis management workshops and our neurodiversity workshops that we run for companies. It's all up there. And we go into companies and help companies who have people who are neurodiverse, make sure the setting is right and they're given every opportunity to develop and to work well within that company environment. And our crisis workshops is all about seeing, can your management team, your senior management team actually operate if there's a huge crisis in the business? A lot of people think they can, a lot of companies can't. And that's what we test, and we test it well. So again, thanks so much for joining me this morning. I'm Mark Beggs. As I said, I'm on every weekday from 7:30 a.m. on all the channels. If you're looking for any of our past shows, we've been doing this since the 6th of January. So if you've been joining me since the 6th of January, I really, really appreciate it. If you need any more information about anything, any help with your company, if you want to meet up for a cup of coffee, you want to buy me a cup of coffee to talk about your business, maybe a challenge you have, just reach out, markbeggs@gmail.com. I'll be glad to sit down with you and have a cup of coffee. If you're having a challenge, our first meeting is a cup of coffee. You're paying £4 for a cup of coffee, chat about your business with me. But that's how good things start. So if you want to do that, just reach out to me, markbeggs@gmail.com. As I said, you find an awful lot of stuff on our YouTube channel. which is at Mind's Eye Education. Okay, folks, I'm going to say good luck to everyone on. So I'm going to say good luck to everyone on our other channels now in a few minutes. And don't forget, we're back here on Monday morning. We're going to be talking about a lot of new stuff next week. We did talk about a lot of stuff last week. And we talked about a lot of stuff last week. We talked about a lot of, over the last few weeks, we have talked about using whiteboards since the 6th of January, how to use a whiteboard, the best way to use a whiteboard, setting goals, planning your company's future, planning your year ahead, which is very important. So we're talking about how to plan your year ahead and how to make sure that your company reaches the heights that you want to reach, and you reach the heights what you want to reach. And I say this every week. It's Friday. Make sure you do not open your mail on a Friday, and make sure, if you don't know what I'm talking about, look at my YouTube video on why for the last 25 years I have not checked my mail on a Friday. Right? If you want to protect your mental health, you want to stay well, have a look at that. It's very important. Okay, extremely important. That you don't check your mail on a Friday. So I have a whole YouTube video up there on that. And also, make sure you still have your question of the week or your question of the month. And I just briefly explain what that is again. I have a question that I have in my diary, something that I want to happen that will vastly change where I am at the moment or where my business is at the moment, right? And every day I look at that question, trying to find answers. Now, sometimes it's very hard to find answers, but I have it down in my diary. My question has been of the month so far, because I have a certain question I'm trying to solve, a challenge for myself about this show, and about people looking at the show. So I have a question that if I can answer that question, it will vastly change the show you're looking at and other stuff. And part of that is that I might be sitting with someone at a networking event. I might be out walking and see a billboard. I might see an article in the paper. And because this question is always going around in my head, when I see that billboard, or when I meet that person, or when I get that business card, or when I see something as I walk by a company or something, I might say, wait, right, that's how I'm going to reach that figure, or that's how I'm going to do that. So make sure you as a company or you as a person have your one question of the week or a month or of 6 months, that if you answer that, and if you could solve that question, it would move you as a person or you and your business way forward, weeks ahead, months ahead, right? So make sure you have that question and make it a decent question. Like, it could be, how am I going to go from 100,000 to 500,000 in my business? Write that question in your diary. Right away, you see it every single day. Because something will happen because you're visually and you're consciously and subconsciously aware of that question. Something's going to happen to you that will show you the answer. I guarantee you. It mightn't happen today, it mightn't happen tomorrow, but something will happen that will answer that question for you. Or it could be a question how I have one takeaway. I want to open 4 takeaways. How do I do that? Write the question down. And see, every time you open your diary or every morning, read that question. Because you will find the answer. You'll only find the answer if you know the question. That's important. You'll only find the answer if you know the question. And that's what we've been covering a lot of January, all about setting the goals and going forward in the year. I had a number of things I wanted to do. I've already done them. My biggest goal for the year has happened, right? I now have a new bigger goal, right? But I have my 7 goals I want to happen for the year. And that's all down to, if you look at my book review from last week, Jack Black from Mindstore. Fantastic individual, fantastic system. Have a look at it. I used it for years, and it brought me from working for Eddie Rockets to the managing director of Indigo, buying other companies for £5 million and doing other stuff and traveling all over the world. And that's all down to Jack Black and the Mindstore technique. Look at my YouTube show from last Friday and you'll see all about that. And the YouTube is at Mind's Eye Education. So So thanks for joining me this morning on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. We're going to say goodbye to everybody there.